Welcome to the Performance Enhancing Podcast. It's like steroids for your brain. A podcast for people looking to live life at their peak potential. Chock full of real-world tools and knowledge that you can apply in your life today. By providing you with a lens into the lives, beliefs, practices, and actions of those who are already living extraordinary lives, the Performance Enhancing Podcast will help you shift your mindset or create that change in your daily rituals and habits so you can explode with success in the areas of life that are most important to you. So get ready for another dose of Performance Enhancing Podcast with SatoriPrime. Here's your host, Ilan Ferdman.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another Performance Enhancing Podcast, or PEP Talks, as we like to call them. And my guest today is Trina Felber. So if you follow me on Facebook, which if you don't, you should, because we do some cool things with Facebook Live. I actually showed this interview on Facebook Live while we were doing it, so you kind of got to see the behind-the-scenes experience of it, but obviously wanted to release it as well to you guys in the normal podcast format. So Trina Felber runs Primal Life Organics, and the best way I can describe it, or the best way she describes it, is that it's more like skin food and not skin care. She was a nurse. She was actually a burn nurse, so dealing with skin, and one thing led to another. She's always looking for ways to optimize her health. And she started making products that are Cosmo grade skincare products for women, but that actually deliver on the promise of keeping your skin healthy. And more than that, helping to optimize your health and heal certain things of your body. So we're going to talk about lip products and skincare and hand creams and it's not toothpaste, I guess, it's tooth clay. And the stories of how she constructs these products, what the intentions are behind them. None of this stuff has anything other than food. No chemicals, no parabens, no toxins, nothing. And I have to tell you, she sent me a care package. I've been using it for probably about a month now, and I'm fully addicted. I mean, hands down, best skin cream I've ever used. Best hand lotion I've ever used. I'm absolutely addicted to this, as she said I would be, which is, it's called Grunt. It's a Primal Lip Balm. So Primal Life Organics. At the end of this, if you either look on YouTube or in our show notes, she actually sent you guys a link specific to you to get 50% off a starter care package, which I just highly recommend you go and do. Trina is fascinating. It was a really, really fun interview. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I hope you guys go and check out the product line as well. Enjoy. All right, everyone. So welcome back to the show. Amazing guest today. I'm super excited because this is an area that I'm an amateur in, and I can't wait to learn right alongside you guys. So Trina Felber, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. I'm so excited to be here.
Why don't we just start with what you're up to, what you're passionate about, and what you do right now to help people.
Oh, well, my background is in nursing. So there you go. I laid it all out.
That's it.
Really, seriously, that says it all. Like, I've been a health nut, and I'm interested in health. But I'm more interested in like every aspect of health. And I'm interested in the preventative side of health. Like, how do you stay healthy? I like to call it optimizing my health. How do I optimize what I'm doing to my body and my environment and everything so that I can stay away from the doctor and all of that conventional medicine. So I've been a nurse for 24 years, I think now. I went back to school. I've got my master's in anesthesia, nursing anesthesia, so I'm a nurse anesthetist. I don't work very often anymore, but it's where during that master's level, I really learned how the body functions at the cellular level. And knowing that, and then living life and things that happen in life, I realized that I was polluting my body through the things I was putting on my largest organ. My very first nursing job, interestingly enough, was in the burn center.
Oh, wow.
I was a burn nurse. And I'll tell you, that's intense. It's really intense. But it was a really cool job because it really taught me about the skin and how very little destruction can cause damage that is unseen on the inside of the body, because all of your organs are protected by the skin, and it also keeps everything in balance. Your fluid balance, your water balance, everything is dependent on the skin. And when there's damage on the inside related to your outside. But I also learned that it can regenerate and heal itself. So not knowing what I know now, where I would be sitting and what I'd be doing in life, I look back and I'm like, that was the coolest job. And no wonder, like, I fell in love with the skin.
Little did you know that looking at burn victims would lead to where you are in life right now, right?
That's what I tell young kids. This is what I love to tell them, that are like, I don't know what I want to do, or I'm not sure, the path I'm on is where I'm supposed to be. I'm like, you know what? When I was a nurse in the burn center, I never, ever thought I'd be sitting in this seat that I'm sitting right now. So it's a stepping stone. It doesn't mean that that's where you're stuck. It's where your potential begins.
It's so true. I mean, we coach people for a living on how to build these kind of passion-based businesses. And a lot of the times they start where they're kind of quote unquote stuck in a job that they really don't like or anything like that. And I always ask them, what is it that, for example, that you do, or how do you deliver value? And it's always something, it could be mundane or it could be relatively interesting. And then they tell me what they want to do. I'm like, do you not see that what you're doing is the perfect practice ground for what you're building? Right. And then they have this aha moment. They're like, huh. And then their whole work life changes in that one.
Yeah, you have to make the connection, and you have to be willing to put yourself out there.
Yeah.
Because it's all about putting yourself out there. It's safe being in that dead-end job. It's safe.
Yes.
It's
comfortable.
It's comfortable. It's safe. It's security. And it's terrifying. You know that. Walking on the edge, if the world is flat, that edge is really scary. It's scary to walk on the edge, but it's so much fun and it's so empowering. You know that, right?
So let's talk about this. So you're that world of burn victims and understanding and learning about the skill led you to now do what?
So now I make skincare that makes you look younger, feel better, and live longer, because I make all of my products out of food-based ingredients. What I learned is if you feed your largest organ food, it heals. And it's what the cells need. It all goes down to the cells. Everything comes down to cellular activity. And if you're feeding your skin commercial skincare, which contains toxins and poisons and things that actually kill cells, your cells aren't going to be healthy, and you're not going to be internally healthy, and externally you're not going to look your best, because those types of ingredients not only kill your cells, but they also dehydrate your cells. So when one of my favorite topics that blows people's minds is when I talk about water. Okay. So water is awesome to drink, right? Anybody there you go. I got mine. Water is, you need it. It's essential for life. But on your skin, it has no place other than taking a bath and washing and, the cleansing type stuff or swimming. But if you look at every skincare product you buy, if you just flip it over, water is probably the very first ingredient, which means that product can probably be, or could be, up to 90% water.
Wow.
So a little bit of water on your skin is no big deal. But when you're putting it from multiple ingredient or products every single day on your skin, water tends to, it evaporates. It doesn't get absorbed by your cells because it's not fat. So it gets evaporated. When it evaporates, it takes with it your some of the protective oils that your skin creates and makes to help keep you nourished and moist and soft and looking really good.
Which is why we keep going back to the same cream over and over and over and over and over.
Exactly. I mean, because that water just dehydrated. So you feel like you need more of that moisturizer, but you're also it's a cycle. It's a cycle. Yeah. I don't know if you've ever used any kind of lip balm or chapstick.
I do all the time. I'm actually addicted. And this was going to be my question later on.
I have to send you mine. Get rid of it.
I know this is destroying me.
Get rid of that. Throw it away. I'm sending you some stuff. Oh my gosh. That's disgusting.
I was like, but this is so funny because I had this specific, I pretty much always carry this on me. And This is one of those things that I got addicted to back in college. Okay. Okay. We're going to.
That's what I'm sending you.
So I get addicted to this back in college, and I know, like, this is one of those things. I live a really healthy lifestyle, and I just know that this is bad for me. But it's one of those things where I'm just like, I know it's bad, but I also need it. And every time I've tried other stuff, I'm like, I always go back to this. And I'm like, I know she's going to bring this up, and I know this is going to be the last time I'm going to use this thing.
That's it. I'm going to be sending you Grunt is what I call my lip balm. It's amazing. Like lip balm snobs are like in love with this stuff. It's hydrating. There's no water in it. It's hydrating. It's going to moisturize. You're going to love it. You're going to be like, I'm never going anywhere without my Grunt again.
I love it. I love it. It's my addiction. That's one of the few addictions. I'm actually a big moisturizer guy too. So I'm really curious, but let's just kind of back up a step before we go into all the specifics.
Did we get off track already?
Well, I just want to kind of give people a context because I know a lot more about what you do.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to give people more of a context. So skin, largest organ in the body.
Yes.
We take in all of these nutrients, whether we put stuff on our body or not. I mean, water in our shower,
just pollution, just air pollution.
Pollution through the air. Everything is being absorbed, whether we know it or not, through our skin. So, I mean, we can go off on tangents about like the diseases that this is causing and all this kind of stuff. Now you come along and you say, okay, I'm going to start creating food-based product, which is like, here's how I hear it. And maybe, other people are hearing it too. It's like, what are we rubbing? Like turkey fat on our arms? And like, how do you choose? How do you know what does what? Like, how does that process even occur?
So what was really fun for me with my background, okay, so I decided I was going to ditch commercial skincare because the one day I woke up and I read my label for probably the first time and realized, and I was pregnant at the time, so I was very in tune to what I'm putting on my body, and I ditched it all, and I thought, if I can't make it for myself, I'm not going to use it. But I didn't want to give up what Big Cosmo, what I like to term Big Cosmo, was selling me, because they sell you those beauty products and you want beauty. And what I realized, I was 39 years old. And what I realized is I bought into that so much, but I never got what they promised. I had acne like you wouldn't believe at the age of 39. My skin was oily. It was just a mess, but I kept buying into it. So, but I was afraid, and I was brainwashed literally into thinking that stuff was that's what I needed. So in my mind, when I decided I was going to make stuff for myself, here's the nurse in me. I was like, first of all, I am going to create things from food that do exactly what they promise, Big Cosmo promises to do. I don't want to give that up. So when I researched how to make my products, I put ingredients in there that actually could heal the body, heal the cells, feed the cells the nutrition it needs, so you can get the results that Big Cosmo promised. Because I never got those results. It wasn't until I gave up all of the Big Cosmo products and I started feeding my skin food. Like carrot seed is so good for your cells. It regenerates them. It resets them. My skin was so oily. I started using carrot seed and my oiliness went completely away. My acne disappeared. So that's when I create products, I look at what I want the product to do in terms of healing the body, not in terms of like just cleaning my teeth. So we can talk about toothpaste for a second. Toothpaste, I love this topic too. You're going to be getting my dirty mouth toothpaste. So,
that sounds so sexy. Dirty mouth toothpaste.
Yeah. You've got a dirty mouth. So toothpaste, I love to use this because everybody uses toothpaste. So toothpaste cleans your teeth. That's basically about all it does. It's loaded with ingredients that are toxic, chemical cause, endocrine disruptors. We kind of forget about all that. But if we just strip that away and say, what does toothpaste do for us? It cleans your teeth and that's about it. It does not do anything to improve the health of your teeth. So when my daughter was born at the age of a little over 2, she had a defect in her molar, and it's like a natural cavity that developed in utero. So we took her to the dentist and he needed to put a temporary filling in there because at the age of 2, she was never going to be able to tolerate sitting for a filling. but he told us that most likely that filling was going to come out because it's just a temporary and the tooth was going to weaken. And eventually he said, there's pretty good chance she's going to lose the molar. So I decided to go start researching what can I do to heal that tooth, to get that tooth to last as long as possible. And what I discovered was that clay from the earth contains the minerals that the teeth actually need to remineralize and heal. So I developed a tooth powder made from 3 different clays, so that, because what happens is your teeth are living, they're like stone, but they're living.
Yeah.
Minerals leach out of your teeth mainly because of our diet. Like the standard American diet is so acidic and so high processed sugars and all of those type of things, the processed food, just leach minerals out of our teeth. Back in the days before destruction, the soil was not mineral depleted. It had tons of minerals. So when people ate things grown in the soil that eat the soil, whatnot, the minerals were in the food that they ate, which went back into their teeth, so their teeth stayed strong. So if you look at wild animals, canines and wild animals, their teeth are typically strong because they're eating right from the earth.
Interesting.
But, yeah. So basically, if we get back to that, how that happens, your teeth cannot leach minerals from your insides. So you can't take a supplement. You can, it's going to help your insides, but your teeth aren't going to benefit at all. So what I decided I needed to do, since the diet, I eat a healthy diet, but probably because the soil is mineral depleted, it may not be enough. So what I decided to do was look for a mineral source that I can brush my teeth with, and that's clay. So I created Dirty Mouth Tooth Powder, has 3 different clays, comes in very standard flavors like peppermint, spearmint. I can't make enough of this stuff. I had one woman, there's a testimonial on my website on the page for the Dirty Mouth Tooth Powder. This woman was awesome. She's from Texas. She calls me one night. It's 10 o'clock on a Saturday night. I thought I'll answer one more phone call and I'm done. I'm hanging it up. And I answer the phone or listen to this voicemail. It's this woman going, I don't know who's in charge over there. And I'm thinking, uh-oh. She goes, but you are the bomb. She said she went to her dentist. She had 5 cavities and needed a root canal. So she went to her dentist to get the root canal fixed. And she had been using my Dirty Mouth Tooth Powder since she found out she needed the root canal. She went to her dentist for the root canal. And he said, Miss Gibbs, you have 1 small cavity. That's it. Her teeth had actually remineralized, and she didn't even need a root canal, and her other teeth had healed.
Wow.
And I've had that story repeated, but she happened, and it was recorded. So I'm like, this is awesome.
Best testimonial ever.
It's amazing. It's so fun to look for food that can actually heal the body, because why not?
That's incredible. But hold on, just because I'm like clay, peppermint, I'm assuming there's no like peppermint flavored clay. You put something in there.
It's an essential oil. I flavor it with essential oils. Yeah. And most kids like more of a neutral. If they're young kids will take more of a neutral. So I created it's called Cool Orange. It's an orange spearmint, very mild flavor for younger kids. And I also have a natural. I have a lot of customers that have a sensitivity to flavors. So I created it's just natural, just tastes like clay, and you just brush your teeth. But most people, peppermint and spearmint by far are the most popular because it's most commercial.
Same thing. Little water on your toothpaste, dab it in there, and that's it.
That's it. It's just a powder. So you just wet your toothbrush, and you don't need heaping amounts because you just need like I say 2/3 of the brush, just dabbed in, and not just what you dip in is all you need, and then you brush. And what's really cool, what I tell parents to tell young kids, when you look at the clay, it's actually like a whitish, grayish clay, but when you brush, it becomes like dark, almost like dirt. So like when they spit, to get them to spit, go spit that out, and they go, oh my gosh, look how dirty your teeth were. You were spitting mud.
Cool. Okay. So that's teeth. That's incredible. That's That's a definite trier. I mean, I know for us, fluoride's a big thing. It just got put on the top 50 neurotoxins, and
Oh yeah.
so that's a big one for us that we try to avoid at all costs here. Much to the chagrin of our pediatricians, who tried to feed us our kids vitamins with fluoride and get them brushing with like our dentists. I'm like, how don't you guys read up on this stuff? And it's a little scary.
What's interesting, and I work with a couple dentists. There's some dentists that sell my products. They don't necessarily know about this. Like, it's not necessarily what they've learned. So for me, when I talk to dentists, I've had a lot of good feedback. I've done some webinars about the tooth powder and about the dental health. And I've had so many dentists email me saying, thank you, because I've never heard it explained the way you explain it. And most of them, when they hear that, they're on board with it and they love it. And they can totally see how that it can help heal the teeth naturally. You don't need the fluoride. This is what your teeth need. Those minerals are what keeps your teeth strong. And as they leach out, if you're not brushing with it and you're not eating it, it's not going to remineralize. And your teeth are just going to continue to get weaker and weaker and weaker.
Wow. Okay, so let's switch gears. So that's teeth. Skin. I know, first of all, I'm a man, so most of the only stuff that I use is just to moisturize my skin. But I'm sure there's women listeners out there who are like, what can I put on my skin to make me younger and less wrinkles and this and that? Does stuff like that actually exist?
I am going to send you, because I'm going to convert you.
I'm ready. I'm ready to be converted.
How old are you?
I'm 34, almost 35.
All right, so you're about there. Okay, pretty soon you're going to be Karen. I actually have a lot of male customers. I believe it or not, I have a lot of men. I do have a men's line. I have some shaving cream, which is amazing. I have beard oil. So I do have some men's line. But believe it or not, yes, I have a couple products that are very anti-aging.
Wow.
I have a line called Infinity and Beyond. It's superior. It really hydrates your cells. If you think about it with the water, there's two things with the water. Not only does it dehydrate your skin, when your skin is dehydrated, that accentuates the wrinkles. So I, a lot of times, will tell people the very fastest way to anti-age is to just put oil on your face, because your oil will seep in. It's going to plump your cells up, and all those plumped up cells, your wrinkles are going to disappear a little bit, and you're going to have a rich, really beautiful color.
Wow.
On top of that water, if you flip it over and look at really what does that water say, it doesn't say it's purified. So not only are you putting water on your skin that's not necessarily going to do anything for you but dehydrate you, but it's probably got all the chemicals and heavy metals and all the stuff in it, because it's regular tap water unless it says purified. So yes, I do have some, and one of my favorite products that I co-created with Liz Wolfe, who is she's a food genius as far as real food goes. She's an NTP, and she's written a book about the paleo diet and real food. But we co-created a product called CX, and it's all of the berries. I looked at how can I create a vitamin C serum, because vitamin C is a huge antioxidant. It's amazing for the skin and the body. And we wanted to create something that was going to give you the vitamin C. There's a lot of problems with vitamin C products.
Absorption.
Yeah, and it has also to do with the way they make it not, because vitamin C is only water soluble. So in order to get it into an oil-based formula, they have to connect it to something that's going to allow it to be soluble in oil. The problem is, for the most part, the chemical or the ingredient that's used kills cells. Wow. So why are you putting vitamin C that is attached to something that actually kills your cells?
Wow.
You know, it's like completely defeating the purpose. So when I was looking to create something for vitamin C, I thought, food is the best source. I know that. So let's look at the top vitamin C or C formulated foods, and it's mostly berries. So I took all of these really high, like acai berry, goji berry, some really unique berries, infused them in some really rich oils, and then added some essential oils to them that heal the skin and improve cell regeneration and decrease like redness, scarring, will improve cellular function. And it's called CX, and it literally is amazing. So I'll send you some of that.
Wow. So you've so I've worked with a functional medicine doctor, which was really eye-opening.
Yes.
And I'll just say this to the listeners out there. When I started working with the functional medicine doctor, I was what I considered at that time like peak physical, mental condition. I wasn't tired. I did it because I started experimenting with different nootropics, and I was just like, after about half a year, I just kind of wanted to see what's happening internally. So that I'm not like messing myself up. I mean, I did a lot of studies. I spoke to experts, but you just don't know, right? So that's why I did it, just to kind of see what was happening. And I knew if I went to a regular doctor, they'd be like, what are you taking? So I did it. And funny enough, like however good you feel and whatever's happening on the inside, outside, whatever, until you look under the hood, you just don't know. And certain one of my, I don't want to get too specific, but certain cycles were off. And I was like, but doc, I feel amazing. And this was his line, and I thought it was so good. He goes, a car going 200 miles an hour around a racetrack feels great right before its engine blows up too. And it was the first time I realized how important it was what we're putting in, like the fuel that we're putting in. So I say that because my next question is, it sounds to me, and tell me if I'm wrong, that your stuff, the stuff that we're now putting on our skin or on our teeth or the CX thing that you're talking about also is like an add-on to the supplementation and the food that we eat, because you're kind of bringing that all through the skin, which is an amazing absorber of the stuff anyway. Is that right?
You got it. I call it skin food. Is what I tell people, if you can stop calling it skincare and start looking at it as skin food. That's what I make. I make skin food. Then you start to make the connection that it's what you're feeding your body.
Wow.
It's going to take care of your body, and it's what you're actually feeding it. And if you feed it food, you can't go wrong. I mean, Mother Nature really knows best. Like, you need those micronutrients. Talking about diet and what you put inside, it's so true also for the outside. And it's all interconnected. So the better you feed yourself both directions, the more in balance you're going to be.
Okay, so we'll cut it off right there. We'll start with part 2 in the next section. Again, highly recommend Primal Life Organics. Go check them out. Check the link below or check the show notes for the 50% discount, which she'll reveal in part 2. But absolutely fascinating stuff. I think you should absolutely give it a chance and see if it works for you. My mom got one. My brother got one. My wife's been using it. Really, really fantastic products. Highly recommend them. Hope you enjoyed part 1 of my interview with Trina, and come back and check out part 2. Also, if you want to attend our live event coming up in San Diego, you can just go to youwillhaveitall.com. We're actually hosting a webinar later tonight, I think. By the time you hear this, it'll be later tonight. So the 19th of May at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you can come and check that out. If you want a quick sneak peek of what we're offering, you can go to youwillhaveitall.com/webinar. Register, it's not too late, and come hang out with us. Have an amazing day, and we'll talk to you soon.
Did you run through doors till you hit the floor? Did you read my